What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another video. All right, you guys, let's jump into this video. I felt the need to give y'all a sit down video because I've been trying to give y'all this little story time about my oldest, and it's just not working out. So I'm just give y'all a separate video. Because some of y'all do enjoy the story times, but then I end up mixing them with vlogs and they become entirely too long. So anywho, I want to first by saying my son is really an amazing kid. He's a really amazing kid. I love him. That's my firstborn son that I'm talking about. My ride or die, my day one, since A1, okay? But I can't seem to decide whether trouble finds him or he finds trouble. Like, it's a hit or miss, okay? I'm not that type of mom who pats their son on the back when I know he's doing wrong. That's not me. Out the gate, I'm teaching my children accountability because a lot of adults seem to lack that. So in my household, if you get caught doing something that you weren't supposed to be doing, or you've done something and now somebody found out that you did it, own up to your ish. Like, the cat is out the bag, okay? You need to own up to your ish and take your consequences and move forward and get a game plan on how you want to do better next time or whatever. So I just wanted to say that I don't bandwagon my son or gaslight him. None of that. That's just not me. And with this situation, you tend to know your kids. My son is 11, so he's a terrible liar. Like, he's a terrible liar. I don't know if he just don't think that his mom is that smart, or he really be convincing himself that his lies be good, because I dissect them apart each and every time. Like, there's not really a time that I felt like my son lied to me and got away with it, okay? So this particular day, like, I'm chilling. I'm taking a nap, actually, and he runs in the house. I hear commotion in the front of the house, and I hear the Ring camera going off and stuff, but I ignore it because Bay's home. Like, I don't have to deal with that. When my man home, he deals with the kids and stuff like that. So my son instantly comes in my room, and he's like, "Mom, get up, come to the door." And I'm like, "Get up and come to the door? Who's at the door?" He like, "You'll see, come on." Now, learning my son over the years, I know he's dramatic and hysterical just like his mom. So when it's something that he feel like he can't defend his truth, or if he feels like he's messed up badly and he can't get his lies straight or whatever, he's gonna cry it out. That's just my son. He's gonna cry it out. He's gonna cry boo-hoo and try to convince you that he's telling the truth because he has tears. I mean, who lies when they have tears? You know what I mean? So he thinks. So anywho, he didn't come crying or nothing like that. He just like, "Mom, get up. Somebody at the door." Calm, cool, and collective. So I get up. As I'm getting up, there's like a group of kids, like 2 or 3 kids at the door with a parent. And then one of the little girls was like, "Yeah, that boy yanked up Lante by the shirt and was, manhandling him or whatever because he stepped on his shoes." Now, in the mix of them telling me that, I have this adult at my door. It's a lady. And she's like, "Hi, I'm here, because your son hit my 4-year-old. And I'm just looking like, "Your 4-year-old? I'm looking at Delonte, and Delonte looking at me like, "No, Mom, I didn't hit him." And the lady's like, "Yes, he did. Yes, he did. This isn't the first time, we've had an issue with your son." And my son interrupted and was like, "Mom, it was an accident. It was an accident. I promise. It was an accident." And I was like, "Well, how did my son hit your son? You know what I mean? Like, what happened?" And in the mix of that, there was another adult coming up the stairs. It was a male. And he was like, oh yeah, and your son also be looking through our windows. He be looking through our windows. And my son said, no, I don't. I've done that one time, and it was just to see if your kids can come outside. But the way the man was talking is like he was talking assertively, and he was standing on business. When it came down to my baby messing with his kids, end up being a peeking Tom, I guess, in his windows or whatever. But I let that slide. Like, I heard the aggravation in the man's voice, but I just, finished talking to the lady. And the lady was like, yeah, we've had issues with your son in the past and yada, yada, yada. But for some reason, my head wasn't clicking, because once my son said he didn't, deliberately hit this child, that it was an accident, that's all I needed to hear. So what more do we need to talk about? Because clearly your son isn't here for him to apologize. And I got another situation playing in my head, because who was manhandling my child? And so, y'all, I don't know if I just blanked out, because I don't even remember saying like goodbye to this mom and her spouse or whatever. Because our stairs, we have 2 stairs, so it's one right by my door, and then there's another stairs adjacent on the other side or whatever. So I just instantly went down the stairs. Like, I didn't even lock up my house, because I heard commotion downstairs, because Bae found the little boy that's like 16 years old. I think he's like 15 or 16 years old. My son is 11. So I was furious about that. And I went down the stairs and I seen the young man, and I'm like, excuse me, is this the like guy y'all all talking about, all the little kids pointing at him? Yeah, that's him. He's smiling, y'all. Like, he a little chocolate, little handsome little boy. He tall. He's smiling, going like this and stuff. And I said, honey, I don't know why you sitting there smiling when people are accusing you of laying hands on my son about some shoes, because that's what they said, that my baby kept stepping on his shoes. He had on some Jordans, and he said Delante was purposely stepping on his shoes. So I guess the dude jacked him up or whatever behind his shoes. But my whole thing is, you're 15, 16. My child is 11. He just turned 11. You know what I mean? So no way in your right mind that you're going to be comfortable putting your hands on my son. I said, and you need to wipe that smirk off your face, because I don't see anything about this situation as being funny. I said, I understand that people get nervous and they can't help it but to smile and stuff. I said, but I don't appreciate you smiling in my face as you sitting here wanting me to believe your side of the story. Because his side was he never touched Delante. He never laid hands on him. But the little girl sitting there, she can articulate very well, and she's telling me, yes, he did. He was manhandling your son, like yanked him up by his shirt and was shaking him all around, I guess. I don't know. I don't think he physically punched him or anything, but I pretty much left that situation as, if I have any more issues out of you, I will be needing to hear from your mom. Like, because I'm not gonna go toe to toe with you. I'm not gonna make threats to you or nothing like that. But what you need to know is that you're too old to be manhandling my child. He's 11. Okay? And he kept saying like he knew my niece, not my oldest niece, the one that's grown. He's talking about my youngest niece. He's like, yeah, I know her, so I would never put my hands on your child because I know, your niece or whatever. That's neither here or there. So like, we left that situation alone, you guys. So after that, hold on. Okay, y'all. So after that, I like, oh yeah, I forgot about the parents that I was talking to about, with Delante or whatever. And the lady was Hispanic, but she could talk English very fluently or whatever. So when we get back upstairs, I'm like, man, Lante, I'm tired of parents coming to my door, dude. Like, what's going on? Like, why are you even playing with a 4-year-old? Like, how did you even end up accidentally hitting a 4-year-old? So Lante like, Mom, it was an accident. We were playing with the Slinky. Like, he had this gigantic, it was bigger than my hand, or like big as my hand, y'all. A big old Slinky. He said him and his other friend were using the Slinky as a jump rope, and they were rotating it around just like this. He said each kid was jumping in and out like they were playing jump rope. And so in a way. But, you know, a slinky, it's not going to stay perfectly in a circle. It's going to kind of like ricochet and, you know, bounce all over. So I'm getting a clear vision of what might have happened and took place or whatever. But what Latte said next set me off. It set me off. So the man that had an attitude was accusing him of being a peak of Tom or whatever. My son said after the little boy ran home to tell his dad that, you know, he got hurt, he said the dad ran out the house and ran up on my son and it was accusing him of being a racist. Call my baby a racist. My baby he understand what being a racist is, but he don't really fully understand racism and what it come with, and that it comes in all type of shapes, forms, you know what I mean, like all type of situations and stuff like that. I don't talk to my kids about stuff like that. He's 11, granted, yes, he needs to start, you know, getting educated on that part of the world and stuff, but I just wanted him to stay innocent and be a kid as long as possible. It's hard raising a black kid in America, let alone a black male in America. So like, I'm just trying to keep my baby innocent, but that opened up a whole can of worms that I wasn't ready for. But we definitely had a serious talk after this whole incident, because it got wild and freaking crazy, y'all. So he's like, yeah, Mom, he ran up on me and he was yelling at me and saying, you're a racist, you're picking with my kids because they're white. And I hear it in my baby voice. He said, Mom, I kept telling him, I'm not racist. It was an accident. I'm not racist. And the man said, no, you did it on purpose because you always picking on my kids because of the color of their skin, because they white and you're black and da-da-da-da. Like just going in on my son. And then he told my son, and I'll also go in the house. I guess they got an older son that's around my son's age. He might be 8 or 9 or 10. I'm not sure. I never seen the kid. But my son did say that he then said, I'll go get my son and he'll come out here and whoop your ass. And my son said, well, if you do that, I'll go get my dad and he'll whoop yours. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what? So this all took place and they didn't mention none of this when they were at my freaking door. I said, babe, get your hoodie, get your shoes. We're going back outside and you finna show us where these people live. So on the way, going to the people's house, I'm asking my son more details. Like, so he came right outside and he was yelling at you, calling you a racist. He was like, yes. And I said, and then furthermore, he made threats that he would go get somebody to whoop your ass. He said, yes. I said, and remind me, did they say they wanted to speak with your mom before or after you said you were going to go get your dad? He said after. So they already knew shit had hit the fan prior to them coming to my door. The only reason why they came to my door is to cover their ass. They knew that they handled my child improperly. First and foremost, you don't speak to nobody child like that and think that it ain't gonna be no repercussions behind it. Because I don't play about my kids like that. You're not gonna put fear in my kids like that. And then I remember when they were at my door, they said something about my son always running. They said they never could find out where he lived. And my son said in that moment, he said, I ran, Mom, because I was scared. He said, I was scared because he was calling me a racist, but he didn't say that right then and there. He had to tell me that later when they left. He was just like, Mom, I was scared. I was scared. That's why I ran, because I knew no one would believe that it was an accident. I knew nobody would believe me. So when I was talking to the man when they were at my door, he kept cutting my baby off. I said, he just answered you. You said because the man said, when you run, you look guilty. Because I guess when he seen them at the door, my son took off running or something. I don't know. But he was saying that, told my son when he run, he looked guilty. And my son, I said, you just heard him. He said he ran because he was scared. And he ran because he felt like nobody would have listened to his side of the story. So move past that. We get over there to the house. Like, first and foremost, why are y'all leaving 3- and 4-year-olds unattended to play outside with kids with age ranges from 8 to fucking 18. Like, this is a huge apartment complex, so it's all ages that be outside, you know, in the little play areas and the grass area and stuff, playing, just having their way, doing what kids do. So I just feel like they kids were too young to be outside, and then for them to get injured or hurt, y'all don't even know what happened, and y'all going off and snapping on people's kids without getting all the facts straight. So I go to the house and I'm like, hey, where's y'all parents? Can you go get your mom? And the little kids don't even look like they understand what I'm even saying to them, but their mom must have heard me, I think. And then, mind y'all, when I'm walking up to their apartment, they have a big picture window next to their door. They don't have no blinds, no curtains. You can literally see straight through their house. I see their kitchen, their microwave, and their refrigerator, everything. So they must have seen me coming, because for some reason, all my son's friends tagged along behind us. So it's like 4 or 5 kids with us, Bay and me. So the lady come out and I'm like, is your husband here? And she like, yeah. I said, can you go get him? And so when he came to the door, I said, oh, I'm back because it was just brought to my attention that, did you call my son a racist and say that he's targeting your kids because they're white? He said proudly, yes, I did. Y'all. Y'all remember I say I go from 0 to 1,000 real quick? Oh, that's what definitely happened, because I can talk to you assertively. I could eat you up without even cursing or raising my voice. But this situation didn't cause for that, because I had lost all sense in that very moment when it come to my kids. Because first and foremost, I was extremely offended that you would call a black boy, a young black boy that's 11 years old, a racist, and be proud and standing on it like you meant what you said, and you just knew for a fact my son was a racist, and you didn't call him on his shit. Like, so then I go, so I told him, you need to do some research on racism, because that's not something you just wake up and dream to be. It's taught. Racism is taught. Okay, first and foremost, that's what I'm telling them. I said, second of all, you would be insinuating that me and my partner is raising our kids to hate white people, and that's not even our style. I'm highly offended that you would think that I'm parenting my kids to be racist. And they're just listening, standing there looking blank-faced and shit. And then I said, and then furthermore, were you guys outside when this incident took place? And they were like, no. I said, so, oh, y'all talking from a third-party stance. Y'all talking on some hearsay shit, correct? And they like, yeah, but my son also said your son hit him too. And I'm saying, but my son is not saying that he didn't hit him. He's saying he didn't do it deliberately, and that it was a mistake, and that they were playing. And she's like, well, how do you know if your son's telling the truth? I said, because I don't play like that in my house. My son know to own up to his ish. I'm not playing that. And no, we're not perfect. But my son know. This situation ain't that deep to even be freaking lying. Okay? So the lady was getting all like testy with me or whatever. And y'all know, those that know me, I was not talking how I'm talking now. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. Because then they were like, we're not the only people who had an issue with your son. We're not the only people who had an issue with your son. The neighbors over there had an issue with your son. I said, there you go with that third party hearsay shit. I said, we're talking about this situation at hand. We're not talking about what happened a while ago or, you know, months ago and this and that, because they didn't come find me. It wasn't that important. It wasn't that important enough for them to come look for me to address the issue if it was that important or whatever. And I said, they're not here. He's like, you want me to go get them? I said, no, you don't need to go get them. We're talking about you. You're trying to get the heat off of your ass and you want to bring somebody else up into this. I said, no, we're talking about you. And I'm ranting and raving. I said, y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. Like y'all wondering why I'm so hot and heated. Let them be your babies. I said, because y'all keep trying to exclude the fact that my child is a child. He's still a child. He's 11 years old. Just because y'all kids is 3 and 4, they're still kids at the end of the day. And kids fuck up and they do shit. And we're here as adults to direct them and correct them. So he the mom was kept trying to talk about some incident that happened, I guess, previous to this incident. And I shut her up. I said, ma'am, to be honest, I don't give a fuck. I honestly do not give a fuck what happened 2 weeks ago, a month ago, or yesterday. At this point, since your husband want to own up to the shit he said, I'm blue. At this point, I am blue, and I am highly offended at y'all behavior towards my fucking son. And so, y'all, I'm just going off. So that I'm like, matter of fact, can your son articulate what just took place? I want to hear from your son's mouth. I don't want to hear from your mouth. I want to hear what your son came up and told you. So the son, they sitting there watching the whole thing unfold. So she look at her 4-year-old and she like, what happened, babe? Or whatever. And he was like, he hit me. And they was like, where did he hit you at? And he was like, right here. He hit me right here. I said, oh, baby, I am so sorry that happened to you. I said, but can you kind of explain how you got hit right there? And y'all, he did this with his hand. That already, ding, ding, ding. My radars went off. Like, that was the same thing my son was just mentioning at the house before we even came over here. My son demonstrated that he was playing with this damn slinky thing as a jump rope. So now I'm putting 2 and 2 together. I'm like, I look at the mom. I said, did you just hear what your son just said? I said, because when I think when I originally got there, before we questioned the son, I don't know. No, I already knew my son's side of the story. They didn't know my son's side of the story. So that's when I think I asked them, was they there? And they said they wasn't there or something like that. Y'all, I don't know. I'm all over the place. But so I'm like, ma'am, that sounds reasonable and logical. Like, my son said he was playing jump rope with your son and he tried to jump in and the thing accidentally hit him in the face. It wasn't an intentional thing. He's not a racist and targeting your kids, trying to hurt them. And then she was like she understood in so many ways, in so many words. She's like, honey, you need to apologize because you are wrong for, calling that boy a racist. And he was like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. And I still was feeling some type of way, y'all. So I walked off mad as hell and telling my son, don't play over here in this area no more because I don't want to hear for these people again. And I told them, if y'all ever have an issue with my son, y'all need to come see me. Don't address my son because I don't like how y'all spoke with him. Y'all, why I forget to check them? You know how you be so mad, you be forgetting to check a motherfucker in their place, and you walk away and then it come to you, y'all. So I'm walking away. I get halfway away. I stop mid-step, my man looking. I turn around. I said, one more thing. I said, did you tell my son that you would go get your older son to go whoop his ass or something like that? He said, yes. I said, oh, you did? So you making threats now? Oh, okay. I said, because from where I'm from, the hood way, yeah, we don't get down like that. We don't take too kindly to threats. I said, where your son at? Bring him outside. We can get it on right now. He was just looking like... And I'm sitting there like, where he at? Go get him. I didn't turn back up, y'all, after he didn't apologize and everything. I didn't turn back up because... you just standing there like you standing on business and you taking accountability and shit like you not in the wrong here. You know what I mean? So I say, what if my son threatened to go get his dad to whoop your ass? He was like, well, I guess, well, he didn't really say much. He was like, well, I guess we'll be fighting or whatever. And I said, or furthermore, what if we go get a gang of his uncles and they come over here and whoop your ass? And the mama gonna say, well, we'll whoop their ass. I said, that's a good hope and a motherfucking might, bitch. I said it just like that, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't even be on my channel cussing, but That's how it went down. I'm just telling y'all, what went down. And she was just standing there looking at me. By this time, the man then took out his camera and he's recording me. I told him, I don't give a fuck about you recording me and this shit go viral. Let the motherfuckers know behind the camera why I'm going off. I said, I'm a mama bear and I don't play about mine. I said, don't you ever in life approach my son and call him a racist ever again in your fucking life. I said, do your research, because now I'm starting to think y'all are the racists. This apartment complex is majority blacks, Mexicans, and it's a few Africans. We got a few hit or miss white people. But as you know, Arizona is predominantly Hispanic. Then you got the blacks. And then the whites are mixed all up in. Okay, so it was just weird. He was trying to play the race card. Come on now. How are you playing a race card at this point? These are kids playing, and one kid made a mistake, and it is what it is. Your baby is 4 years old, outside unattended. He clearly can't articulate what happened. All he did was run in the house and say, I'm hurt. And he did it. Like, y'all didn't even investigate before you ran up on my son. And I need you to know whose son you ran up on, because I said, I bet you from this day forward, you won't talk to my son ever again. I bet you think twice every time you see my baby. And I was just ranting and raving. I bade him bear hug me and pulling me away from the scene. And I'm still going off, yelling at the camera, because I don't know when, but Bae said as I was yelling and screaming and shit, he had got on the phone with the police and told the police it's not an emergency, but we need police assistance over here, and gave his address and all that. And I was like, I don't give a F about you calling the police. Y'all are in the wrong here. I said, the only thing I'm doing wrong right now is disturbing the peace. Hell yeah, I am. Everybody and their mama was listening. I ain't care. I lost it. But I didn't want this to be a super long vlog, but it's going to be long. Y'all going to sit and listen, or y'all not. Because I started thinking to myself, y'all, he never left the threshold of their house. He never left the threshold. Only time he left the threshold of his house is when I was walking away, so he can get better footage on his camera. But prior to that, he stayed in the threshold, and the wife was on the stoop. Like, they don't really even have stairs, so they're on the first level. She was on the sidewalk talking to me, and all I could think of that viral video where them neighbors were feuding, the white neighbors against the black neighbors, and the white neighbor were calling the black neighbors, N-words, and, degrading them and all that stuff. And the girl finally had enough, and she went over to the neighbor's yard and started beating the woman's ass, basically gave her what she was looking for. And then the husband came out the house and stabbed her while they was fighting. And remember, the girl fell out and fainted in the front yard. And the white woman was still yelling and cussing at her while she bleeding out on the ground. And the man didn't even go to jail. When the police got there, they let him go on some self-defense shit, because she was on their property. They felt threatened or whatever. I felt like they was trying to put me in a position like that. That man could have had a gun behind that door, a gun in his waistband. I don't know. But how irate I was, that situation could have went totally fucking left. I thought about that after the fact. Like, they were baiting me. They were antagonizing me. Like, I was leaving and they was still talking shit. And I was like, I'm leaving. Y'all are in front of y'all front door. The police would told you why you just didn't go in your house and shut the door. Y'all are sitting out here engaging with me in the mess. I'm not in the mess by myself. Y'all are engaging as well. Y'all are at y'all dwelling. Y'all are right at y'all front door. You could have just easily went in the house, took your wife, and went in the house and shut the door. But y'all didn't do that. You got your camera out, all in my face and shit, trying to antagonize me. And you not knowing the type of person I am, I'm a person that go from 0 to 1,000 real quick. You need to watch what you do to people, how you talk to people, how you treat people, kids. Because you don't know how they coming behind theirs. Because it's death and jail behind mine. Do you hear me? Death or jail behind mine. I really don't have no sense when it comes to my kids, which I should, because they need me here. They don't need me in a grave. They don't need me behind bars. They need me front and center, day in and day out. So I wasn't thinking. So I went home and on my way home, y'all, I seen the police as they came. They was circling. And my boyfriend was like, there go the police, let's go. My man do not like confrontation with the police. He don't like none of that. He don't want to even have to give his name. He don't like that at all. But me being me, I don't care. I ain't running from the police. I ain't done nothing wrong. You know what I mean? I said all I did was disturb the peace and put them in their place as they should. So I'm yelling on purpose, y'all, putting my hands up, acting ghetto, ratchet. The police there, skirt, put their lights on and pulled right up on me and my son. I said, hello, sir, how you doing? He got out the car, y'all. I swear to God, I didn't leave not one detail out. I told him exactly what I said and exactly what I did. And the police was like a young officer. He looked like he was in his late 20s. Not even 30, y'all. He looked young as hell. But he was like, I don't understand why he would call your son a racist. Like, I'm not going to get into all of that. Nobody likes to get on that type of topic. I understand. So, and I said, yeah, I went over there. I said, but they came to and the police said I wasn't wrong because they came to my house first. I didn't get in trouble. He just advised me in the future if we have any issues with neighbors to call them ahead of time so they can be a peace officer or whatever and keep the peace or whatever. I said, cool. You know, I might not do that, but cool. I'll take the information. And then he documented it and gave me not a citation, but he gave me the report number for future references and stuff like that. But I even told him the part where he threatened my son to, threaten my son about getting somebody to whoop his ass. And I told him to go get the little boy, because we can duke it out right here. I told that to the police. I didn't do anything wrong. Like I said, the only thing they probably could have got me for was disturbing the peace, and not even disorderly conduct, because I wasn't acting disorderly. And I didn't I did not listen to the police or whatever. I don't know what the whole statute for disorderly, I don't know. But I wasn't acting disorderly. I was just, disturbing the peace, being a nuisance or whatever. And yeah, y'all, so that's what happened with that situation. And then another situation took place as well a week later. Like, my son ended the year with a parent at the door, and he started the year with a parent at the door. But the other situation went smoothly, y'all. I handled my business and I took accountability. My son took accountability, but in that situation, he was innocent as well. You know what I mean? And if y'all want to hear about that, I need at least one person to drop in the comments, because this is really lengthy and I don't want to put both story times together. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I'm not leaving anything out that I wanted to add, but y'all know my little new thing is I add text, captions at the bottom to fill you in on anything I left out. Yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed today's story time. And if y'all enjoy content like this, let me know in the comments, and I'll give y'all more one-on-one sit-down videos, so I don't have to interfere with my daily vlogs and stuff. So with that being said, this is going to conclude today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, turn on your post notification bell so you can get notified every time I drop a video. Until next time, you guys, peace.